Hey, what's going on, guys? What's Melon back again, and today I have the battles that got me to expert. So you're going to be seeing my team. It's Shadow Magnezone lead, Lickitung, and then Azumarill using standard move sets. I've got Wild Charge, Mirror Shot, Volt Switch on Magnezone. You can see this fortuitous lead on into a Mantine, and then they swap Carbink, which obviously I've just core broken the team. They can't win this. And then Lickitung's Body Slam, Lick, and Power Whip, and then Azumarill is Bubble, Play Rough, and Ice Beam. So pretty standard stuff. I'm using one Rogue Mon in the front in Shadow Magnezone, and then two very, very meta Pokemon in the back. My understanding from top players, myself not included obviously, is that typically you either have to run 3 Metamon or spice things up with 1 Rogue pick and then 2 Metamon. This team worked really, really well. I mean, this team has gotten me to expert at the earliest point in the season that I've ever been expert. This is my 3rd season that I've been playing GBL. The first season, I ended up hitting veteran and expert for the first time. Second season, I peaked, which was last season, I peaked at 2950. And then this season, I am hoping that I can make legend. I need to get better at doing my counts. You'll see I make some misplays throughout. But this first game, I just completely RPS the other team. And so it's unlosable. I did swap Lickitung onto Steelix, which I probably should have just gone Azumarill because I double resist their fast move, but it doesn't really matter. I'll just shield up this Water Pulse. This will count as the fast move will go through and not just knock them out, so it makes it very easy. I don't really care what they throw. Azumarill is going to clean up very easily. I just need to make sure I don't do something stupid like shield a Magnezone. Wild Charge, even though it's double resisted, will still actually chunk a Steelix. So, and then we just go in Azumarill, no problem. Doesn't matter if they have Earthquake. I can win this quite easily. So the battles you're seeing right now are actually after I hit expert. You'll see the battle that got me to expert as the last one in this video, and it won't be sped up. Here you can see another ridiculously good lead, and they don't swap out immediately, so obviously they are in big trouble. But basically, I needed a 4-1 set to hit expert, and so I wasn't recording until I was 3-1 in the set, and I was like, what, I'll just record this. Ended up hitting expert, very, very nice. But I didn't have the full set recorded, which is a bit unfortunate because the battles were incredible, and the battles from this set were not as good. I went 2-3 this set, and one of them I am not going to show, but I just completely lag, and they end up getting a move through that they shouldn't, and then I end up lagging again and going to charge attack priority when I shouldn't, and it just completely lost me the game. So I was a little mad about that. Some of these losses weren't the best losses, but I'm still learning and still getting better. Magnezone aligned on Tentacruel. What can you do? It's just too easy when you have this alignment. But this team overall plays quite well. I think Magnezone is good into a lot of Mon. Like 10% of the time you just get these leads, as you can see here, where the game is basically unlosable because you just RPS the opponent. And then most of the time there's some play, and then some percentage of the time they get Wigglytuff on the lead, and then they have Whiscash on the lead, and then they have like Vigoroth in the back on your Lickitung. It just, sometimes you win those games, sometimes you lose them, but overall I like having the 2 really bulky Mon where, I just build up to the Wild Charge. Usually I throw the Wild Charge. If not, so be it. Here I've got Azumarill on Mr. Lickitung. I misplayed that a bit by letting Lickitung go to charge attack priority with Wigglytuff. Obviously, I was in just so good a state, it didn't really matter. But letting myself get to charge attack priority, I should have just banked the move and then swapped in Azumarill. Oh, actually, I do have the game where I lag a bit. I don't know how well you can see, but I should have gotten off that mirror shot before Mr. Girafarig, and then I lag again here, so it is what it is. I think I just top left this game. Yep, end up losing there, and then Azumarill comes in. At this point, it's just completely lost, so it is what it is. The way I view these laggy games is like, obviously it shouldn't be a part of the game, but I don't let it affect my feeling about things, because I win some games because the opponent lags, and sometimes they win because I lag. Anyways, you can see here that I've given up. It's an impossible game to win. I do have a double shield Lickitung, maybe if they're super weak, but they have Bastiodon, and so it's just a lost cause. Here we see a Bastiodon lead. This is one of the nice things about Shadow Magnezone is that it beats the Bastiodon leads quite well. I throw in bad timing here, big misplay. I usually just go Mirror Shot and then Wild Charge after the fact. I'm just fishing for a debuff in case they stay in. It just allows my magnezone to make another move before they farm me down. Here, I immediately I know I lose this game because it's this double grass backline. I do get the debuff and the bait, but I have to swap in Lickitung. Actually, I wonder. I'm starting to think a bit more about this now. I wonder if I should be going, if I get the debuff, Azumarill, so that I can just build up to Ice Beam and then get that double super effective. I think now that I think about it, I think I should be swapping Azumarill into Tropius if I get the debuff, because then I win. Because I should be able to just shield, get Ice Beam. I don't know if I make double Ice Beam before it makes 2 Leaf Blades, because obviously Bubble's better for energy generation, but Leaf Blade's a bit cheaper. You can see here, I actually make a really good play. I catch, well, not really catch, but I make the Body Slam, and then I farm down with a Magnezone, so I keep the Body Slam for their Victory Bell, which inevitably is going to come up, and Magnezone gets some extra farm. Here, I just go for the Wild Charge. I'm already so low, I just have to throw 2 moves. There's not really anything I can do here. Actually, I wonder again. I don't have any shield. Oh, no, I did. I wonder if I could have farmed down there with Magnezone, where I just farm, and then shield whatever Bastiodon throws. I wonder if, okay, now I'm thinking a bit more. The win con, assuming I made some mistakes there, was basically throw Body Slam, force them to shield Body Slam, but they don't. They shouldn't have. That would be a lose con for them. I just let this go because, it's a doomed game, and so I lose. Anyways, moving on, now we have the game that got me to Expert here. So, very good lead. Shadow Magnezone is obviously great into Wigglytuff. I'm expecting them to swap out, and they do. They go Poliwrath. I do throw a Volt Switch, which does a lot to Shadow Poliwrath, but you might think Electric into Water. Magnezone does pretty well into that matchup. You actually just get completely destroyed by the counters, and they can just completely farm you down. So I'm going to go Azumarill here, which obviously is quite good into Shadow Poliwrath. I'm assuming that they want me to knock them out, basically, because then they can go in Azumarill, then they can go in Wigglytuff. But, I don't really have anything else to do. I just have to sort of take it. Unfortunately, they live on 1 health and get off another Icy Wind, which is really bad because it, obviously now I'm double debuffed, so I'm just allowing Wigglytuff to get an absurd amount of farm. I will be able to get off a couple of Play Roughs into Wigglytuff, or actually I think I go for the double Ice Beam because I realize I wouldn't be able to hit. I'd only get 1 Play Rough off, and obviously double Ice Beam is better than just a single Play Rough, and so yeah, I do go for the Ice Beam, and it ends up being the smart play. I don't know if it ends up mattering at all, but it is what it is. They're gonna knock me out with this Charm, and so now I see that their Wigglytuff is low. I have to go in Magnezone because obviously Magnezone is good, and they throw this move. I'm expecting that it's going to be Icy Wind, but that I just want to shield regardless. I think they just go Disarming Voice because they're expecting me to not shield. Here is the game-winning play. Basically, they have to shield because they don't know what I have in the back. And you might think, oh, well, I'm just, I'm useless anyways. I'm Magnezone onto Annihilate. 1, you can get the debuff, and they have to shield that move, and I end up debuffing them. And 2, I might be able to end up reaching another Mirror Shot, which will then knock out the Wigglytuff, right? And so I get double Mirror Shot instead of just throwing a single Wild Charge that would get resisted, and I take a huge amount of damage from counter. So that ends up being the win con. I'm not sure if I make double Power Whip because I think it's somewhat IV dependent. If the Annihilate gets debuffed and has a energy head start, I'm not exactly sure how it goes. I just throw the Power Whip because I'm like, I don't know whether they're going to shield. They probably are because it's game losing to not shield. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make another one. It turns out that I won't, and so I just go for the body slam. And the key here is that I know with this body slam plus a couple extra licks, I'll be able to just shield whatever move they throw, and this will knock them out with the Volt Switch. And that gets me to the mirror shot, which I can then knock out Wigglytuff with. So this was like a crazy close game and super fun, super nerve-wracking. Well, actually, I end up needing another Volt Switch, but, you know, pretty crazy game. I did actually have the Wild Charge there, so, you know, it is what it is. But whew, if I had taken a double debuffed counter damage, I would not have made it. So that's the final nail in the coffin, gets me to expert. This team is pretty cracked. Hopefully I can reach legend with it. We'll see where everything goes. I got a nice Volibee. I was pretty nervous here. It doesn't end up being caught, so I gotta throw another Pokeball at Volibee. But we'll see the rewards. I end up hitting 2,776 on expert. Very nice. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.